Alright, hello and welcome to another Why Would You Use? So today we're going to be talking about the newest Prime secondary, the Pyrana Prime. So the Pyrana Prime, I think, is an incredibly good weapon that has an unfortunate problem, but also has probably the single best primed gimmick in the entire game from both a fun perspective and also a usefulness perspective. This weapon, if you get 3 kills in quick succession, will turn into AK Pyrana Prime momentarily, giving you doubled fire rate and a doubled magazine size, which is absolutely fantastic for any secondary weapon. If you gave that same gimmick to, say, Sicarus Prime would be a new world order of power and just, like, status damage output, like, the whole thing. It would be ridiculous. That being said, the Pyrana Prime does not go that far, as it still retains some of the issues of its non-prime counterpart. That mainly being that this weapon has really short range. It is a shotgun, but its spread is pretty aggressive, although it has been reined in very slightly for the Prime. And in addition to that, this is not a shotgun that has 30% status, and whenever you don't have 30% status, that means you just have very, very little status to work with in general. I know this says 45%, but for a shotgun, that really is significantly less true than you might expect. With that, this build is very, very basic. It is a super basic crit build for a secondary. This is the corrosive version. I found corrosive works best in the level 50 test, and even in like the level 80 test. But if you're in a situation where you are using corrosive projection, say you're doing ESO with a constructed party and you want to bring this weapon, I would definitely switch this up to a viral heat build utilizing primed heated charge. So yeah, and also that is, of course, like very, very powerful there. If you're using a full stack of corrosive projection, you're not going to notice any fall off on this weapon whatsoever because it is like mainly slash based, and then viral heat is of course going to get you a lot of bonus damage as well. With that, there's not a whole lot else to explain. I just got to show it off because the gimmick is... You got to see it to understand just how fucking cool it is, basically. It's like... It's not something I ever expected to, like, have, and it's not something I would ever, like, think about wanting, but it's really great. And in addition to it just being really great, it also is super useful, and it makes it so that the ammo efficiency of the weapon is, like, way higher than you would expect. Like, if you were constantly getting that secondary effect and getting that double ammo capacity and stuff, you can just fucking whomp bullets down hallways without caring, because like the bullets only last a temporary amount of time. So smoke them if you got them becomes the rule, and you'll kill a lot more enemies than you might expect just by being like, well, I got these 12 extra rounds, I guess I gotta use them. And it is just really powerful at any kind of a low level. This is going to absolutely shred. There's definitely merit to using Seeker on this weapon if you're going to be fighting at star chart levels, say like anything that's below level 40, because you can shoot through crowds of enemies, getting your buff more consistently, and then just absolutely obliterating anything in front of you. It's just a whole lot of fun. Like, the gimmick is very well designed. It's not terrible at high-level content if you really wanted to use it there, especially if you're using a Warframe that can buff up your damage, like, say, Rhino or something. And it's maybe a little less powerful for the MR that it's at, being an MR13 weapon. But, like, it's hard to argue with the fun of this thing, and the damage output is close enough for the MR, honestly. So yeah, that is the Pyrana Prime. Go build this dang thing. It's just a whole lot of fucking fun. I'll see you guys tomorrow.